Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're keeping a close eye on the California real estate market, you've come to the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the latest trends, numbers, and stories shaping the Golden State's property landscape. Grab your coffee, and let's get started. First up, let's talk about the big picture. The market is still a fascinating, complex beast. We're seeing a push and pull dynamic that's keeping everyone on their toes. On one side, we have persistent high interest rates, which are definitely putting a damper on affordability for many would-be buyers. The dream of owning a home in California feels a bit further away for some, and we're seeing that reflected in the pace of sales. However, on the other side of the coin, we have a chronic lack of inventory. There just aren't enough homes on the market to meet the demand that still exists. This scarcity is acting as a strong floor for prices. So, while you might expect prices to drop significantly with higher rates, that's not what's happening across the board. Instead, we're seeing prices hold relatively firm, and in some desirable areas, they're even inching up. Let's break it down by region. In Southern California, Los Angeles County is a perfect example of this trend. The median home price has been hovering near its all-time highs. Bidding wars are less common than they were a couple of years ago, but well-priced, attractive homes in good neighborhoods are still getting multiple offers. Buyers are more cautious, they're taking their time, and they're definitely more budget conscious. But for the right property, the competition is still there. Moving down to Orange County, the story is similar but with a slightly more pronounced luxury market strength. Aussay's high-end market seems to be more resilient to interest rate fluctuations. We're seeing cash buyers play a significant role here, which insulates a portion of the market from the mortgage rate environment. Inventory is incredibly tight, especially for single-family homes under $2 million, which keeps prices elevated. San Diego continues to be a hotspot. Its appeal, from the lifestyle to the job market, keeps demand consistently high. We're seeing a slight increase in the number of homes for sale compared to last year, which is giving buyers a little more choice, but it's still very much a seller's market. The military presence and the thriving biotech and tech sectors provide a stable base of potential buyers who are often less deterred by market swings now. Let's head north. The San Francisco Bay Area is a tale of different cities. San Francisco proper has seen more price adjustments than some of its neighbors. The shift to remote work has changed the calculus for some people who no longer need to be in the heart of the city, leading to a softer market compared to the suburbs. However, soft in San Francisco is still incredibly expensive by any other standard. Contrast that with areas in the East Bay or South Bay, like San Jose. These regions are still benefiting from the tech industry's gravity. While there have been layoffs in the tech sector, the concentration of high-paying jobs is undeniable. Homes in top school districts are still commanding premium prices. We are seeing a trend of buyers looking for more space, which has made suburban and even exurban properties more attractive than ever before. Speaking of inventory, where are all the homes? A major factor is the lock-in effect. The vast majority of current California homeowners are sitting on mortgages with interest rates of 3% or even lower. The thought of selling their home and buying a new one with a mortgage rate double what they currently have is a massive financial disincentive. They're choosing to stay put, renovate, or simply wait it out. This is severely constraining the supply of existing homes hitting the market. What about new construction? Builders are trying to fill the gap, but they face their own set of challenges. The costs of land, labor, and materials are still high. While some larger builders are offering incentives like mortgage rate buydowns to attract buyers, they can't build fast enough to solve the statewide shortage. We're seeing a focus on building denser housing, like townhomes and condos, especially in urban infill projects. But the single-family home remains the ultimate prize for many. Now, let's talk about what this means for you. If you're a buyer, the current market requires patience and strategy. Getting pre-approved for a loan is more important than ever. It's not just about knowing your budget. It's about showing sellers you're a serious, credible buyer. Be prepared to act fast when the right property comes along, but don't feel pressured to waive all your contingencies. Home inspections are still your best friend. The phrase you'll hear a lot is marry the house, date the rate. The idea is that you can always refinance your mortgage later if and when interest rates come down. For sellers, it's as a different game than it was in 2021. You can't just put a sign in the yard and expect a flood of over-asking offers. Pricing your home correctly from the start is absolutely critical. Overpricing can lead to your home sitting on the market, which can create a stigma. Homes that are well-maintained, staged beautifully, and marketed effectively are the ones that are selling quickly and for top dollar. You still hold a strong position because of the lack of inventory, but you need to present your home in its best possible light. Let's touch on the rental market for a moment, because it's all connected. With homeownership being so challenging, many people are remaining in the rental market for longer. This keeps demand for rentals high, especially in major metropolitan areas. While we've seen some moderation in rent growth compared to the steep increases of a year or two ago, rents are not coming down in any meaningful way. This puts continued pressure on household budgets across the state. So, what's the forecast for the rest of the year? Most economists and real estate experts are not predicting a major price crash. The supply and demand imbalance is just too strong. Instead, the consensus is for a relatively flat market, with some regions seeing modest price gains and others seeing slight declines. A lot will depend on the Federal Reserve's actions and the direction of the broader economy. If we see inflation continue to cool and mortgage rates stabilize or even tick down a bit, we could see a surge of buyer activity in the latter half of the year. One interesting trend to watch is the ADU, or accessory dwelling unit, explosion. More and more homeowners are building these granny flats or backyard cottages. It's a way to generate rental income, house, family members, or create a home office space. Recent changes in state law have made it easier to get these projects permitted. And it's one of the few ways we're seeing new housing units added in established single-family neighborhoods. Another thing to consider is the impact of insurance. In areas prone to wildfires, getting and keeping homeowners insurance has become a major headache and expense. Some insurance companies have pulled out of the state entirely, leaving homeowners with fewer and more expensive options. This is becoming a significant factor in the home buying decision process for certain parts of California and is something you must investigate thoroughly before making an offer. In summary, the California real estate market remains a story of resilience in the face of affordability challenges, high demand, driven by a strong economy, and the simple fact that California is a desirable place to live, is clashing with record low inventory and high borrowing costs. The result is a market that is slowing down from its previously frantic pace, but is not breaking. It's a market that demands careful planning and expert advice, whether you're buying, selling, or just watching from the sidelines. That's our deep dive for today. The market is constantly changing, so make sure you resubscribed and have those notifications turned on so you do not miss our next update. What are you seeing in your neighborhood? Are you a buyer, a seller, or are you waiting it out? Let me know in the comments below. I love hearing from you and reading your stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.